Speedruns are undoubtedly one of the most notable and enjoyed aspects of gaming culture in recent times. When we use this term, we are referring to trying to complete an objective in a game as quickly as possible, whether that objective is finishing the main campaign or obtaining a certain item all the way to accomplishing a certain task. In today's day and age, with any game that enjoys a sizable following, you will almost always find some portion of individuals attempting to somehow incorporate elements of speedrunning into the meta. With huge titles like Minecraft, numerous Nintendo games such as Mario Kart and other Mario franchise games, Pokemon, and almost any big name in the gaming world imaginable gaining so much traction as of late, this resurgence in speedrunning has definitely had its effect on smaller games. Such a widespread interest in the topic has prompted even the most obscure categories to be popularized in the most unfit areas of the gaming world, even titles such as Geometry Dash. Now, Geometry Dash is a side-scrolling timing-based platformer, meaning that levels already have a set time for completion. So, how can speedrunning even be applied to it? Well, with the popularization of the idea, community members have gotten creative in finding ways to incorporate it. If we really want to look at the history of speedrunning in the Geometry Dash worlds, we will have to go back to the beginning of 2.1, when some players on YouTube sped through completing all the main levels as fast as they could. We also saw a more notable resurgence in the category of completing 5 demon levels in the fastest time possible, with players like Technical getting impressive times like 4 minutes and 56.380 seconds around 2 years ago when it was a popular prospect. But recently, we have begun to see a new resurgence in the idea of speedrunning, this time in an entirely original form. This new category for Geometry Dash running is unlike anything we have seen before, and it has captivated the eyes of the community in new ways. This is the KrmaL Block Speedrun, a category in which the main goal is to exit out of a level and get to popular player and creator KrmaL's account on Geometry Dash as fast as possible, then to block him with the in-game block feature at the bottom to complete the run in the shortest time you can manage. The rules for the category and specifics have evolved over the time of its existence, but that is the general idea. The topic is still in its infancy, so it is likely we may see it continue to be shaped as it progresses in the future. But, with this new concept taking the community by storm and with players having achieved multiple world records in mere hours of each other, I thought it would be my duty as a documentary creator to cover the history of this brilliant new aspect of Geometry Dash speedrunning. This is for sure a monumental historical mark in the making, and I want to spread awareness about this inspiring category and its tale through this video. I am confident that I will have you on the edge of your seats for this beautiful story that I will tell here today, so I please ask you to give this video your full attention and make sure you step back and relax to enjoy it in full. I am very excited to get into this topic, so without further ado, let's move forward. This is the full history of KrmaL Block Speedruns. The story of Geometry Dash KrmaL Block Speedruns begins in early March of 2021. Our focus is on the Geometry Dash Twitter community, a prospering platform where active players and creators alike come together to enjoy the presence of like-minded individuals who have a passion for the game. One account in particular is of our utmost interest, as it will be the catalyst for the trend to take form for the first time. This account is XBgram, a large presence in the Twitter community with over 1,700 followers. As I said, the history of the KrmaL Block Speedruns begins here, more specifically, on the renowned date of March 7th. At 1:04 AM Eastern Standard Time on this date, Bgram would release exclusive footage of a call he took part in with fellow Twitter influencer GMD Blue. In this video clip, we would see the first ever look at this speedrunning category that would set the stage and standards for all the further events to transpire.
Okay, Miles, don't even register. No.
In the video, Blue can be seen playing Elite Z Rebirth by KrmaL, a widely disliked level for its unenjoyable gameplay. When Blue misses a yellow orb timing and dies, he quickly exits out of the level to the menu, copy and paste KrmaL's username to the search query, and then goes to his account to block him out of spite. With this being the only attempted recording of this non-existent category, it was not considered any sort of world record at first, but the Twitter community would soon change that ideology. As the tweet blew up and raced past 1,000 likes, exploding through the timelines of countless active users, community members began to jokingly comment how the footage was a world record for the KrmaL Block Speedrun category. And these events would set the playing field for skilled top runners to take over and mark their name in history as the first world record holders. With the idea for the category and the community demand and engagement now established, we wouldn't have to wait long for the first player to take the initiative to make the prospect a reality. Later on the same day of the original Twitter post, we would see our first world record. This would come from Twitter user DT Dom, another very popular personality with a large following. Dom's run would take the idea of Blue's run and build on it directly, exiting out of the same level, Elite Z Rebirth, and making his way to KrmaL's account page as fast as possible to block him. This recording included keyboard sounds and clicks to prove his legitimacy. Though Dom included no timer to measure his record, it has been calculated that the video was completed in around 2.8 seconds. This would be the first world record that would set the stage for other competitors to join in on the increasingly evolving landscape of this speedrun category. Though Dom's run was good as a first sub 3, it was somewhat sloppy, especially near the end, showing clear room for optimization. This being considered, it wasn't hard to anticipate a new record coming in the very near future. There actually was a record achieved by an incredibly unknown player around 40 minutes after Dom posted his, still the same day of March 7th. This runner would be known as Hat for Fuck on Twitter. Unfortunately, due to him being virtually unseen as a presence on the platform, his record would be all but sidelined and ignored, though it was the rightful world record after Dom. This run wasn't anything to joke around about either. Utilizing his incredible skill, he managed to achieve a 1.78 second time, shaving off an entire second from Dom's run. This was a very large jump, and it is obvious now that we should have more respect for Hat as a runner at how fast he achieved the world record. From here, the category would somewhat be forgotten about for a while until it was revived a few weeks later by GMD Blue, the one who began the trend in the first place. He would begin the resurgence of the supposed world record of 2 seconds flat on March 24th, 2021. But this run was actually misconceived as the best time around. If you remember, Hat managed to get a time of 1.78 seconds all the way back on March 7th, and this would beat Blue's time by over 20 milliseconds. But, since he was an immensely unknown runner, many believe Blue now reclaimed the title of world record holder even though that reality was flawed. But, either way, Blue's posting of this new personal record would again cause a secondary influx of best times for this category. And interestingly enough, we would see a new strategy introduced to the meta of the speedrun by runner Sebatronic after Blue's 2-second run. This would be that instead of exiting the level and going back to the menu and search bar to insert KrmaL's name there, you could just exit out of one of his levels on the server and click on his name to bring yourself to the account. This new time save would be endorsed by GMD Blue, the creator of the category, meaning it was now official. The world record for the original method is still held by Hat with his 1.78 second time, but runners now moved on to this new and fresh way of executing the category. With the new time save strat, Seb would get a world record run of 1.024 seconds on March 24th at 10:18 PM Eastern Standard Time. This was a very close run to sub 1, and it was incredibly promising for the future of the category and records beyond the sub 1 mark. The world record time from Seb would be very impressive, but there was still small areas for optimization, so the prospect of sub 1 was definitely a reality, meaning this isn't the end of our story just yet. In fact, we still have quite a ways to go in the form of new runners and what they achieved in the category so far. With the new time save strategy, hope for the future is bright as all parties involved look forward with a determined eye, some known and some lurking in the shadows. Let's continue and see where the story takes us next. A notable event I have to discuss next in this video relating to the KrmaL Block world record speedruns would occur only 6 minutes after Sebatronic's world record time. This would be when Doggy, a famous Twitter and YouTube Geometry Dash personality, tried his hand at the category and posted his best run to Twitter. He would get a time of 1.066 seconds, unfortunately only a few milliseconds away from Seb's time. While this was not a world record, it's still a very important piece of history to cover, as with Doggy's fame, it further propelled the category into the community conscience and got more and more people to follow its happenings. There were some misconceptions that Doggy's run was actually the world record even though Seb had it all along, but those would soon be fizzled out as we saw an old-time veteran runner return to the scene to destroy both Seb and Doggy's runs completely. Utilizing his seemingly natural skill, on March 24th at 10:33 PM Eastern Standard Time, trendsetter GMD Blue would once again take back the crown for the first sub 1 time of 0.717 seconds. This would be Blue's first run to take advantage of the time save introduced by Seb, and it definitely proved how he was the master of the KrmaL Block speedrun. Entirely demolishing the previous records, the new sub 1 time generated massive amounts of excitement in the Twitter community for the category. But this definitely does not mean the end of world record runs for the category. In fact, adding on to its relevance, 40 minutes after Blue's record we would see our first hacking scandal in the speedrun style. It's definitely something to marvel at that all the records we have seen so far have been legitimate ones. But, with the demand for skill furthering as well as the rewards for a record, it was bound to occur eventually. Top player Zanny would be the one to release the hack record, publishing a speed-hacked run to his Twitter of 0.13 seconds. This was a mind-blowing run, but it was quickly proved to use illegitimate means due to multiple inconsistencies in his recording. This would mean Blue still held the achievement title of world record in his arms. However, the running doesn't end there. We still have one final record to cover, this time being one that has stood against the test of time and is still fortified today. let's take a look at our final KrmaL Block World Record speedrun. Ever since the dawn of this category, there has always been one runner that has been unmatched to the rest. From the first ever recording to the world record prior to the time save, to his unmatched sub-1 run of 0.717 seconds, Blue has always been in and around the category pushing the limits of what is humanly possible. And on March 24th, 2021, at 10:50 PM Eastern Standard Time, Blue achieved the ultimate world record, 0.6 seconds flat. This is an insane run, and even from just watching the footage, you can see Blue's inspiring skill for the running category. Blue is the king of KrmaL Block speedruns from the start, and it's no surprise that he not only achieved 2 world records in a row, but has also held the crown until the publishing of this video with his monumental 0.6 second time. It's truly inspiring to see how Blue has grown with the category, adapting to the demand for skill and utilizing his natural talent to create some of the most impressive times and feats that we have seen in Geometry Dash history. His skill and dedication can be compared to that of a top player slaying list demons and verifying top 1s, and it is for sure nothing to scoff at. But that is where the category stands today. No one has managed to step up to the plate to dethrone Blue since he achieved his 0.6 second time, and though we have had some close attempts, like Zanny's 0.68 second record he achieved after Blue's final world record, no one has truly stepped up to his level of skill. But that doesn't mean we won't see more history in the future. It is definitely a possibility that we will see a runner once again claim a world record in this category, whether that runner is someone like Blue who has already been involved since the start, or they are someone lurking in the shadows, waiting to peek their head out with a new best time in the community. Only time will tell, and for now, that is all the history we have to cover for this video. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed the full story of the category for KrmaL Block World Record speedruns. See you all next time.